What if laughter wasn't joy? What if laughter felt like knives cutting through your soul? For most of us, laughter is happiness. But for Ethan, it was something else. For him, every giggle, every chuckle, every burst of laughter was a reminder of pain. This is the story of Ethan, a boy, a teenager, and then a man who lived with gelotophobia, the fear of being laughed at. Ethan was only 10 years old when it began. He was a shy, quiet child, the kind of boy who always sat in the last row of the classroom. One morning during math class, the teacher asked him to solve a problem on the blackboard. His hands trembled as he picked up the chalk. His mind froze. The numbers swam in front of him like waves crashing in the sea. The classroom grew silent for a moment, and then it happened. A boy in the back giggled. Another joined. Then the whole class burst into laughter. The teacher tried to shush them, but it was too late. Ethan's ears burned red. His heart thumped like a drum. His eyes blurred with tears. At that moment, a belief carved itself into his young mind. Laughter means humiliation. Laughter means me. That day, a simple mistake planted the seed of gelotophobia. Over the years, Ethan avoided the spotlight. He stopped raising his hand in class. Even when he knew the right answer, he kept quiet. His classmates laughed at cartoons, jokes, or silly accidents, but Ethan felt each laugh like a personal attack. When his friends laughed at a movie, his chest tightened. When cousins teased each other at family dinners, he stayed silent, forcing a smile but feeling the ground slip beneath his feet. The laughter wasn't about him, but his brain whispered otherwise. It told him, "They're laughing at you. You're the joke. You always will be." This whisper grew louder with time until laughter became his greatest enemy. In high school, Ethan's fear deepened. When he walked through hallways and a group of students laughed nearby, his mind exploded with thoughts. Are they laughing at my clothes, my walk, my face? He wore plain shirts and dull shoes to avoid attention. He never cracked jokes, never dared to make mistakes, and never opened up fully to anyone. Teachers thought he was simply introverted. Friends thought he was too serious. But inside, Ethan was building invisible walls to protect himself. Walls that kept out humiliation, yes, but also joy, friendship, and belonging. He became a prisoner of his own fear. When Ethan entered university, he hoped life would change. But gelotophobia followed him like a shadow. During presentations, his hands shook. He rushed through slides, avoiding eye contact. A whisper or a chuckle in the audience pierced him like a dagger. At parties, he stood at the edges, holding a glass but never joining the laughter. He longed to be part of the fun, but the fear screamed, "If you try, they'll laugh at you." Even in relationships, gelotophobia haunted him. When his girlfriend giggled at something on her phone, Ethan's chest tightened. Was she laughing at me? Did I say something stupid? These thoughts poisoned his trust, creating distance and pain. Ethan was surrounded by people, but he had never felt more alone. Ethan's story is not unique. What he experienced has a name, gelotophobia. The word comes from the Greek gelos, laughter, and phobos, fear. It is a psychological condition where people develop a deep, lasting fear of being laughed at. Research shows that gelotophobia often begins with painful childhood experiences, bullying, public embarrassment, or constant criticism. For some, even one traumatic event, like Ethan's math class, can create lifelong scars. Unlike simple shyness, gelotophobia changes how the brain processes laughter. A normal laugh equals a threat. A simple joke equals an attack. A smile equals mockery. For gelotophobes, the world feels hostile even when it is. Ethan lived like this for years, hiding his fear behind silence. But one evening at his workplace, everything came crashing down. During a team meeting, he shared an idea. It was good, bold, innovative. But right after he finished, two colleagues laughed. It wasn't cruel laughter, just a light chuckle at a funny phrase he accidentally used. To Ethan, it was devastation. His throat closed, his vision blurred. Excused himself and ran to the bathroom. There he locked the door, sat on the cold floor, and wept. For the first time, Ethan realized, this is just shyness. This is ruining my life. A few days later, with trembling hands, Ethan searched online, fear of being laughed at. That's when he discovered the word gelotophobia. The more he read, the more his life made sense. Articles described his pain perfectly. He wasn't weak. He wasn't crazy. He had a condition, and conditions could be treated. Ethan gathered courage and booked an appointment with a psychologist. In therapy, he learned that his fear was born from childhood humiliation. His brain had linked laughter with danger, and for years that link had gone unchallenged. Through counseling, role-play exercises, and gradual exposure, Ethan began to see laughter differently. Healing wasn't easy. The first time his therapist played a recording of laughter, Ethan's body tensed. He wanted to leave the room. But slowly, week by week, he practiced staying calm. He learned breathing techniques to manage anxiety. He wrote down negative thoughts and challenged them. "They're laughing at me" became, "They might just be laughing at something else." "I'm the joke" became, "I'm part of the group." His therapist encouraged him to share small jokes with trusted friends. The first time he made them laugh, his heart pounded with fear. But then something shifted. Their laughter wasn't cruel. It was warm. Ethan began to taste a new truth: not all laughter hurts. Months passed. Ethan still had moments of fear, but he was changing. He joined a small theater workshop, a place full of laughter, mistakes, and playful teasing. At first, he wanted to quit. But with each session, he realized laughter could mean connection, not humiliation. One evening, sitting with friends at a cafe, someone cracked a silly joke. Everyone laughed. Ethan felt the old fear rise, but this time he took a deep breath, let it pass, and then he laughed too. For the first time in years, the sound of laughter didn't chain him down. It set him free. Ethan's journey shows us a powerful truth. Gelotophobia is real. It can steal joy, silence voices, and isolate hearts. But it is not the end of the story. With awareness, support, and therapy, healing is possible. Laughter, once an enemy, can become a friend again. So if you or someone you know feels this fear, remember Ethan. Remember that you are not alone. And remember, one day, laughter can heal you instead of hurt you. Laughter is one of humanity's greatest gifts. Don't let fear take it away. If you found Ethan's story meaningful, share this video. Let's spread awareness about gelotophobia and remind the world. Behind every laugh, there's a story. Sometimes a painful one, but always a chance for healing.